Alright, so I'm going to show how to replace the battery on this mid 2015 MacBook Pro model A1398 15-inch. Alright, so first thing you're going to do is remove all the screws from the bottom using a Pentalobe 1.2 or a PH, oops, did I get the wrong screwdriver? Pentalobe 1.2 or a P5, sorry. Alright, so we're going to take the P5 screwdriver and remove all the screws. You're going to want to put them with the flat side down on your desk so that you can keep them in order. You want to put the screws back in the order that you remove them. Some of the screws will look the same, but it's always a good idea to put the screw back where you got it. If you do put the wrong screw in the wrong place, sometimes you can actually damage the computer. So if you took it from this hole, try and put it back in that same hole. Alright, and if these videos help you save money, please consider contributing to the channel so that I can continue making these videos. These kinds of videos aren't like other channel videos where it's more for entertainment. These kinds of videos are usually where it's individuals looking to get their computers repaired. So it's not the kind of thing where I can kind of get millions of views on them. So hopefully you guys will be able to help out my channel. Yep, and thanks for watching. So we're going to continue with this repair. Alright, removing all the screws. Okay, once you remove all the screws, you're going to go towards the back here where the hinge is. Get your fingers under there, and then you're going to pull this up. You might have to wiggle it a little bit to undo the clips, just like that. And there you go. Whoa, it's pretty dusty in here. So I'm going to take a toothbrush, scrub all this dust, and then use an air blower to blow this out. I use an electric air blower. But yeah, I'm going to clean that out, and I'll be back. You can see how much dust is in here. Alright, when I come back, you'll see a much cleaner computer. Alright, I'll see you guys in a bit. Alright, so I'm back. Got the dust all cleaned up for the most part. Alright. The only thing left are these sticky stuff that doesn't really come out unless you have to use like water or something. But anyways, once you got all the dust cleaned out and you got it opened up, alright, we're going to go ahead and disconnect the battery. So to disconnect the battery, we're going to, let me show you like this. Normally I wouldn't lift it up, but this is makes it easier to see what's going on. So here you can see the little gap here. So we're going to be pulling this part up, okay? So the way I do that is I use both fingernails. You can use whatever works, but use like plastic tools. If you're going to use anything, don't use like metal tools, because you can short out the battery and damage your computer. Alright, so I grab both corners like this, and then I just pull it up, just like that, and there you go, we got the battery disconnected. Alright, after you disconnect the battery, just to be safe, what I like to do is open up the computer, and then we'll press and hold the power button for 10 to 15 seconds. Alright, this will greatly reduce any risk of damaging the motherboard while you're working on it. Alright, so we're going to hold it about 10-15 seconds. Okay, that should be good. Alright, let's close it up. Alright, now we're going to remove some screws so that we can get to the battery easier. These are all T5 or Torx 5 screws, okay, so it's not the same as the bottom cover. Make sure you get a T5 or Torx 5 screwdriver. Let me zoom in a little bit to make it easier since we're just doing the battery. Okay, so now we're going to lift up the plastic sticker piece here and peel it back a little bit. Alright, so we're going to peel that back. Oh, there's some stuff stuck there. Okay, alright, so we're going to remove the one screw here. Okay. Again, keep the screws in order because they are different size, shape, and lengths, and if you mix them up, you can damage the computer. Alright, then we're going to go underneath here as well. There's another sticker there. Okay. Oh, this one we're actually going to have to peel up the entire sticker, so let's get that sticker, that screw out as well. Alright, so there's actually the trackpad cable that goes underneath and then connects here. So we're going to have to peel that out to get it out of the way since it's on top of the battery. So let's go ahead and peel this sticker up. I guess you don't have to peel it all completely out, but I'm going to transfer over this sticker anyways to the new battery. So let's go ahead and peel it out all the way. You want to hold the board down as you peel the sticker up. Alright. This. Okay, I don't know if we need that foam. Let's go ahead. We don't really need the foam, but let's go ahead and see if we can get it to come up with the sticker. There we go, I got most of it. Okay, so we'll set this sticker aside and we'll put that on the new battery. Okay, so now that we got that, we're going to remove the 2 T5 screws holding this metal plate or bracket in place. Okay, again, keep them in order, whichever way you can. Again, I just put them with the flat side down in the pattern I remove them, so it's easy for me to remember. Okay, then take this little metal plate out. And then what we're going to do, we're going to pop this connector out. So I just get my fingernail under there. Let me zoom in. Okay. All right, so I just get underneath the connector in the corners like this, and then I just pull it up. Kind of have to wiggle it a little, but there we go. All right, let's zoom back out. There we go. And now we're going to peel this the trackpad connector out. So you kind of want to try and keep the cable flat. You don't want to like roll it back too much. So I'll keep my finger down here, so when it peels up, it's not going to suddenly rip the connector out. And then we're going to pull the cable this way as we kind of pull it slightly up, just like this. Okay, there we go. Then what you're going to do, lift this little tab down here out of the way. Let me zoom in to make this easier to see. Okay, so we're going to lift that up. Sorry, it's so wobbly. Okay, so we'll lift this plastic tab out, and then there's this little tab here that we need to flip, just like this. All right, once you flip that, we can pull this cable out. There is some adhesive underneath this cable, so it will be a little bit difficult to pull out. Keep that in mind, but make sure you did flip this latch. If you didn't flip that up, then you're gonna end up breaking something. All right, so we're gonna pull this straight back and also slightly up, just like this, and kind of wiggle it. All right, and there we go. So here you can see there's the adhesive there. All right, and that's just gonna stay there. So we got the trackpad cable out. We can leave the trackpad in. We're just taking out the cable, so that way it's not in the way when we go ahead and pry out the battery. Okay, so next thing we're gonna do is remove the 2 screws from the speaker on both sides. So 4 screws total, of course. So let's remove these 2. Okay, 1 and 2. All right, and then we're going to remove the 2 screws from the other side as well. All right, again, keep all these screws in order because they are different size, shape, and lengths, and again, mixing them up can cause problems. Okay, there we go. Now that we got both those out, now we're going to go ahead and start scraping up the battery. So one thing with the speakers, usually when there's a lot of dust, so I'm pulling up the speaker here from the side. You can do it however you can pull this up. But here you can see the speaker has some dust there, so I like to clean that out if I can. All right, just like that. Then we're going to go to the other side and do the same thing. All right, you can pull up the speaker however you can. You can also pinch this piece and pull that up. All right, so here you can see there's a bunch of dust in there as well. We're going to clean that out as well. All right, so now that we got the speaker up, what we're gonna do, I use a thin pry tool like this. You want a thin, flexible tool. You don't want it to be sharp. This isn't a knife, but it is really thin. Okay, if it is sharp, it's not too big of a deal, but if it's too sharp, you can easily puncture this. So this tool, it's supposed to be completely flat, but when I used it, it got a little bend in it, so it's a little bit curved. If your tool is like that, you want to make it so the curve goes underneath the thing. You don't want the curve to point upwards, because then when you go and scrape, it's going to scrape all underneath the battery. Okay, so my tool has a little bend in it, so I make the curve point down, and that helps me actually get underneath the battery. All right, so what we do, I actually use the laptop against my stomach, and then I push the tool underneath the battery pack here, so just like this. Okay, it helps to kind of wiggle it a little bit, just like this. And we're just gonna work our way over down the entire battery pack, just like this, okay? Okay, just like that. Okay, so as you can see, once you cut all the adhesive under here, you can actually slide the tool like that, just to check it. Once you cut all of that, you don't want the sticker stuff to get into the speaker. Once you get all of that out, then you can see you can actually lift this whole thing up. And then we're going to go ahead and continue scraping to the other battery packs here. Okay, so again, same thing. Just continue scraping underneath. Okay, just like this. Okay, my broken clavicle's healing up a bit, so it's not as painful doing this now. But it didn't even break three weeks ago. It's still about almost a little bit about 2.5 weeks almost. So I guess bones heal relatively quickly, because yeah. All right, so let's continue doing this. I mean, I still can't lift things well with my right arm. It hurts, but yeah, doing this kind of stuff is a lot better now. It doesn't hurt so much. All right, so this side's going to be a little bit tough because there's the screw mount here. So what you want to do is you actually have to go slightly like diagonal here, and then we're going to peel up this side just by pulling it up. So we're going to go diagonal like this. Okay, that way we can get underneath all of this side. All right, and then after that, we're going to go ahead, I'm lifting up the tool, and we're going to use that to peel it up just like that. All right, there we go. All right, now we're going to flip the computer over, and we're going to continue with the other side. Same thing, lift the speaker up to get out the small pack, and then after that, we're going to do the other one. All right, so get under there, scrape that up. Okay, pull it back. Okay, move it down. Scrape that, move it back. All right, and just continue all the way down the battery pack. Okay, just like that, and then make sure to check it. Looks good. All right, now we're gonna go to do the next one again. Just like this. Sorry, I'm going out of view. Okay. Just like that. Then we're going to go over this way. We're going to go at that angle again. And then let's peel up that corner. There we go. All right. So the center part, you have to raise the tool a little bit, but it's a little risky because there's the trackpad thing here. And then also, if you go too far over this way, you can damage some things over here. So you want to make sure to avoid hitting too far over to these sides. So it helps to kind of go at an angle like that, and then go at an angle like that. All right, and we're going to do that. So let me show you what it looks like underneath. There's a slight raised bump for the trackpad here. So if I lift this out here, you can see this metal wall here. So it helps when you're prying up the first two, because then you don't accidentally slide the tool too far because you hit this metal piece. But when we go for the third one, you have to kind of go slightly higher to get underneath there. All right, so let's go ahead and do that now. Okay, so we're gonna lift this pack up, and then we're gonna go ahead and cut the adhesive here. Again, you wanna be careful not to go too close over to the motherboard area, because if you're not careful, or if you're not used to doing this, there's a good chance you'll end up damaging your motherboard. You also want to be careful with the trackpad area. Okay, so you can see getting most of it up already. Okay, continue going down. All right. Again, you also want to be careful not to hit the trackpad circuitry over to my left. Okay. So you kind of want to go slow and controlled. Make sure you're not just like crazily sliding the tool through there. All right, there we go. We got that one all out. If my head's getting in the view of the camera, I'm sorry, but in order to get the proper angles to work on this, then I kind of have to have my head over the top sometimes. All right, there we go. Let's go ahead and cut through here. Continue down. All right, and then after this becomes the tedious part of peeling off all the old adhesive and cleaning up the residue. Okay. Come on. That. There we go. All right, I think we got it all. Oh, there's a little bit over to the left. There we go. Come on. Okay, there we go. So now we got the entire battery pack out. Let's go ahead and lift it up. right? So the battery pack, you just lift all these little packs up together, okay, just like this, and then I hold it like that, and then you can pull it forward and out. Here you can see all the adhesive underneath. Oh, this little foam padding came out somehow. Okay, I get a lot of people that say like, oh, don't use metal tools, you're gonna destroy the battery and cause a fire. If you use the right kind of tool and know what you're doing, here you can see the battery packs are perfectly fine. There's no damage, all right? So we're gonna set that aside. Okay, now what we're gonna do is get these little adhesive strips out, any residue. So I like using this plastic razor blade. You can just use your fingernails. I used to use my fingernails, but then when I found this kind of tool, it actually is a bit easier. So, but I still use my fingernails, as you can see, to peel this up. Whatever works for you, use it. All right. Okay, so we're just gonna go ahead and basically you just want to get up a small corner of the thing to where you can grab it and then slowly peel it away, because when you peel it, it actually comes out a lot cleaner than when you actually scrape it, and you'll see why that's important when we go to clean out that residue. The more of that residue there is, the more difficult it is to clean off. So yeah, okay, just peel it up. As you can see, there's almost no residue. The only residue is where it was pretty much scraped. So the only thing is these parts, because it's really hard to control where the tool gets in between the adhesive, there's a lot of times it's going to scrape it and leave that residue. So you can't always help it, but whatever you can to make your life easier, try and get out as much of that as possible. All right, let's go ahead and continue peeling this. You can see it keeps leaving behind where it's torn. All right, there we go. Just like that. Go, peel this up. Okay. Usually the center piece here is also more difficult, so I'm gonna do that afterwards. I'm gonna continue scraping these up. And a lot of people ask me, like, why don't I fast forward this? I mean, you could easily just skip over the entire part if you don't really want to watch it. But I like to show how much work goes into taking this stuff out, so that way you know what you're getting yourself into if you're gonna attempt these repairs. Okay. It's also easier, I don't have to edit anything. But it has its benefits as well, so. Alright, let's peel this up. Okay, continue peeling this out. So these, I think the 2013 and newer models are like these adhesive, you can kind of peel it better. The 2012 models, the adhesive, it just shreds up, so it's a lot worse to remove. So if you have a 2012 model, yeah, just know replacing the battery is going to be a pain. You don't technically have to remove all this adhesive stuff. If you want, you can just leave the batteries kind of loose in there. But then it's not getting as good cooling from being stuck directly to the aluminum. So yeah, I would recommend, if you can, to peel this stuff out. But if it's too much hassle for you, you can just stick the battery in here with the little adhesive protective things and make it so that whenever you have to upgrade the battery, it's a lot easier. If that's what you prefer instead, you can do it that way. All right. Almost there. Let's go ahead and just scrape these all tiny bits out. Okay. Okay, there we go. Let's go ahead and get these center ones. Hopefully it's not going to be too difficult. Okay, it looks like it's peeling up, so we might be okay. Oh, okay. It's semi-peeling. I think we're okay. And you can actually see the screws underneath this metal plate that we're peeling up these things from that hold the trackpad in place. This metal plate is just held in place with adhesive, and you can just peel it up. At least if I remember correctly, yeah. I don't think the screws are holding down that metal plate at all. Okay, this adhesive is being somewhat of a pain. Most of that peeled up. This kind of adhesive is a pain, doesn't want to come out easily. Old adhesive. All right. Go. Go, 3 more pieces. This one's gonna be a real pain because that one got shredded up. We'll see. Okay. Almost there. Okay. All right. And then we get to the cleanup portion. I might have to start using like a little dropper thing to do the rubbing alcohol, because the paper towel kind of uses up a lot of it just soaked into the paper. So let me see if I can, you'll see in a bit what I mean. Okay, it's not too bad. There we go. All right. So now we're going to basically, if you can see this residue stuff here, we're going to remove that using some rubbing alcohol and paper towels. Okay, I just used 91% isopropyl alcohol. So I'm going to actually pour a tiny bit there. Okay, you want to be very careful. You can use a paper towel to make this easier, but then you have to use a lot more. I'm just going to pour some here and then kind of rub it in. Okay, so just a little bit like that. All right, if you get a rubbing alcohol bottle, that's has a smaller opening, it'll make it easier. So basically we're just going to get the rubbing alcohol all in this adhesive here. Again, this part is raised slightly, so it's going to prevent the rubbing alcohol from getting to the trackpad, which is nice. Okay, and the rubbing alcohol just dissolves all of that adhesive residue. So we're basically just going to pull the isopropyl alcohol over there. And isopropyl alcohol also isn't electrically conductive. The only thing is there's water mixed in it, so it's not 100% rubbing alcohol, there's water. So keep that in mind, and that's why you can't just like pour it all over everything. If you dry it out before you turn it back on, you'll actually be okay. But again, just to be safe, I don't like getting this stuff into all the electronics. Okay, so we're gonna just try and get that there to dissolve it. Okay, and here you can see we're having this goopy mass right there, and that's all the adhesive that's dissolved in the rubbing alcohol. We're gonna have to wipe it up before the rubbing alcohol evaporates, otherwise it's just gonna become a sticky blob there. Okay, and we got most of it. I'm gonna add a little bit to a piece of paper towel so that I can clean up the rest of the residue there. All right, just to get it on the paper towel, and we're gonna go ahead and wipe up the rest of the residue that was left behind. There we go, it comes out pretty easily. Okay, that one's all good. Now we're gonna go ahead and go to the other side. This side you wanna be careful because there's the little holes in it for the screws. So we're gonna have to actually just use a paper towel with it and make sure it's not enough to kind of drip through the little area there. Okay, so let's go ahead and pour some here. All right, go ahead and rub that into the adhesive. Scraping out all this adhesive. See, it's coming out pretty nicely. Alright, here you see all the goop. Now we're going to go ahead and scrub that all up again. That up with a paper towel. Okay, then get another one with a clean bit of rubbing alcohol on it. Okay, and just wipe it out just like this. Clean up the speaker a little bit because it's kind of gross, but it doesn't seem to want to come off too much. Okay, there we go. So we got all of that cleaned up. Again, now we're going to have to work on the centerpiece. Again, just get a piece of paper towel with the rubbing alcohol on it and kind of just wipe it up. Try and get that residue off. It's going to take a lot of elbow grease, just continuously wiping it, but it will eventually all come off. All right, there you go. Keep wiping it. All right, we're gonna get a new one because now the paper towel is kind of getting too much adhesive stuck inside it, making it hard to clean. Get whatever you can. Alright, so we got all of that. Let's go ahead and get another one. Again, you don't want too much rubbing alcohol, so I fold the paper to like be pretty thick. So that way when you pour I just pour it on, it kind of absorbs into the rest of the paper to make it very thin layer of isopropyl alcohol that comes out. You don't want to squeeze it out and make it like drip everywhere. Okay, you just want it enough to kind of make the adhesive dissolve. Okay, just like that. Okay, so you can see all that adhesive residue is gone. Now we're cleaning with this side. We're going to flip it over so we have the clean side. And we're going to go ahead and wipe the rest of the stuff out. Okay, anywhere else you see a little bit of residue, just wipe it up. I don't know if that's residue or not, but there we go. All right, and then we'll dry it off. Can't really completely get all this residue stuff out, so if it's like a fine layer but it's not sticky, you should be okay. Okay, if you want, you can try using one more clean paper towel to try and get that residue up. It helps to do it if it's like very, very little isopropyl rubbing alcohol. So if it's like just a tiny bit, then it can dry up faster without collecting and making residue. Okay. Sometimes you can switch to the dry side and dry it real quick before it can form a residue, just like this. And there you go. It's a lot better, so we'll toss that aside. Now we just need to get the new battery and put everything back together. All right, so I'm gonna grab the new battery. Okay, so the new battery will usually come like this. There's a clear thing on top. This is to keep the battery packs together, and then there's this bottom one which protects the double stick adhesive. We're gonna peel this bottom one off. Okay, just like this. Okay. All right, and then we're gonna go ahead and grab this. Again, these packs are to kind of hold it together. You wanna focus on these two holes here to make sure the screw mounts line up. And then we're gonna slide this down here at the bottom and then slowly lower it. Make sure again that the holes line up. My head's probably gonna get in the way because I need to see where I'm dropping this thing. Okay, it's not lined up right, so. Okay, so I need to kind of move it over slightly to the right. Okay, this is the tough part because if you drop it down in the wrong spot, you're gonna not be able to take this thing back out. So make sure you get it in right. All right, and then drop those down. There we go. You can go ahead and push these into place. One thing I forgot is this part, usually it's too long. So you have to actually bend this cable down from the edge here and then bend the middle part up. So you kind of bend it like that. All right, just like this. All right, this foam piece keeps coming out, so hopefully it will stay there. I might have to put some kind of adhesive. All right. There we go. Now let's go ahead and start putting back all the screws. We'll start with the speaker screws on the left first. And we're going to test it before we peel all this tape off. Okay. But it's not like it's going to be easy to take back out after, since we already stuck it in. You can actually test the battery before you stick it down if you leave that thick clear piece off first. All right. And sometimes it's good because sometimes the batteries arrive and they're defective, but it's not pretty often. So if anything, I'll just peel this thing back up. So usually if you peel it up after and you didn't leave it too long, it's not too bad. All right, so now we're going to get the, I don't think we need to peel that part off. Let's check the old battery. Yeah, they leave a sticker there. Okay, so now what we're gonna do, we're gonna take this. Oh yeah, okay, let's peel off the clear piece because I wanna do the trackpad, and then I don't want to have to take it all out again later. So when you peel off this clear piece, I don't know if you saw how I peeled this up, you want to actually roll the clear piece off like this. You don't want to pull it straight up. If you pull it straight up, it actually can separate layers in the battery, and that can actually cause the battery to fail sooner. Okay, so it helps to just peel it back like that. All right, now let's go ahead and put the trackpad connector in. So basically the opposite of before, just grab this holding that plastic tab up, make sure the latch is up, get the cable in, okay, push it all the way as far as you can. It will stop on its own, and you can see a bit of the gold piece. That's normal. All right, flip the latch back down. Let me see if I can show you so you can kind of get an idea. So there you go, you can see like that gold stuff remaining. That's normal. Okay, now we're gonna go ahead and plug this in. So you just line it back up. You wanna try and prevent this from sticking back down until you get this plugged in. Okay. All right, get that plugged in just like that, and then push it down. All right, that way now you can have everything lined up, and then you can stick it down. All right, let's go ahead and put the trackpad cable cover back on top. Okay. And usually I'll put both screws before I tighten it, if you've noticed. All right, here we go. Okay, and now let's go ahead and put the battery board screws in. Hopefully you got everything lined up. Oops. Okay. There we go. Second one. There we go, got all those screws in. Now we're going to reattach the battery. It helps to kind of just work with one corner first. So I kind of like get that one corner in like this. After you do that, the rest will kind of like be able to rotate while you push on it. Just like that, and snap that in. If the fan rubber piece is coming up, just stick it back down. All right, let's get this piece back on there. When I put the cover on, it should stay in place. All right, let's zoom out. Oh, that's pretty far. Okay, then you can go ahead and take this piece and put it back. I'm gonna brush this off and see if any of those crumbs come out. Okay. Okay, some of the crumbs came out. It's not as bad as before. So now we're gonna flip this over, just get that all lined up and stick this back down. Okay. Just like that. Then we're going to grab this cover, put it in place, snap the centers in. All right, and then we're going to do a PRAM and SMC reset. So let's open up the computer. So to do an SMC reset, let's go ahead and actually plug it in so you can kind of see. You don't have to have it plugged in, but it helps. So let's plug it in. If the light is orange, there you go. If you do Control-Option-Shift on the left side and press the power button, it'll go green and then back to orange. That's how you know you did the SMC reset right. Now we're going to do a PRAM reset, power it on, Command-Option-P&R. Your screen should shut back off, and then it should chime a second time. If you don't hear the chime the first time, it's probably because you had your sound muted. You can just hold it and let it chime twice, and it does the same thing. You should be fine. So here you can see the screen is good. So we should be good to go. I'm going to clean up the screen a little bit because it's kind of dusty here. The screen, you want to be careful not to use chemicals on it. These screens have been known to have this anti-glare coating that peels off. So you kind of just want to wipe it with a kind of very little water on a paper towel. Not enough to be dripping, just like a little bit, just to kind of lubricate it so it doesn't scratch up your screen or anything. All right, so there we go. And it looks good. Battery showing 74%. I unplugged it, it's staying on. So we should be good to go. Let's go ahead and put all the screws back in. Let's flip this back over. All right, and we'll put back in all the P5 or Pentalobe 1.2 screws. Okay. If you somehow mixed up the screws, the two back here are shorter than the rest. Alright, but that's pretty much it. So you're welcome to stay as I put in all the screws. But other than that, that's all there is to it. Hopefully this video helped you guys. If it did, please like, subscribe, share my channel with others. Again, if my videos helped you save money, please consider contributing a little bit of your savings to my channel so that I can continue doing this. My channel isn't like other channels where millions of people will share it with each other. It's more like something where if they need to fix something. So it's more of a personal, like that video is specifically for someone that has problems. So hopefully, hopefully you guys can help me out. Thank you for watching again. Only 3 more screws, and I'll see you all in the next one. All right, let's drop this thing. Bye.